What's going on, guys? It's Sauce here, and we have Little Cup action. That's right, we have APDL Season 6, and we're going to the Little Leagues, checking out some absolute talent that we've never really seen before. Bar the occasional pick here and there that you might have seen in PU, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that can happen in this format. So first off, there's some sweet things happening in terms of item clauses. You're only allowed to run like one type of item, which is awesome. So you can't just spam Eviolites, stuff like that. And to be honest, everyone's base stats, looking at this draft, just really bad. So it's really fun just trying to team build, which is definitely a challenge. And yeah, so we're just gonna go through what I picked here for the draft and just kind of give like a little bit of an analysis on why we drafted what we drafted, and just kind of go through each pick here as it comes. So just like the other coaches, gonna go through, describe each of the Pokemon we got, and we're gonna start off with our tier 3s. So each coach gets 5 tier 3s that they can go through, 3 tier 2s, and 2 tier 1s. So without further ado, let's go check out who we drafted. So starting off here, we got Sobble. Sobble thought he was kind of a steal, honestly. No one really picked him up, and base 70 special attack in this format is kind of huge because special attackers are a little bit limited, and base 70 speed is quite fast, so I thought that this was a pretty decent pickup. Sobble can learn dual screens, has access to U-turn, also with Sniper has a super high crit chance, which is really cool. Has like some fun moves like Stealth Stinger and Sucker Punch, things like that. So you can go for like a cheeky physical attacking set if you want, but other than that, just set up screens and fire off stab surfs with this monster attack. So thought Sobble was pretty good. Kind of lacking in the special moves, to be honest, but he learns Weather Ball, so that's always something that you might have to look out for. But after Sobble, we got Chingling. Now, Chingling ding. This guy we basically just drafted because it has Levitate. And the remaining flying types that were left in tier 3 were pretty bad. So that's our reasoning behind picking Chingling. Again, this thing has access to Toxic, Thunder Wave, Hypnosis, so all the statuses, as well as dual screens, has access to Wish, Trick Room, just a super utility Pokemon. And decent special attack at 65. Unfortunately, every other stat this thing has is complete garbage, so we're gonna have to work around it, but hopefully we can just use Chingling as like a nice little utility Pokemon. So that's why we picked it up, mainly for that ground immunity. So our third tier 3 that we picked up is Helioptile. Now, Dane Cook Jr. joining the squad. Thought this was also a steal. Base 70 speed, again, pretty fast in terms of Little Cup standards, as well as, a respectable 61 special attack. Needed an electric type on the squad, as well as normal. So thought that the typing mix is actually not bad and has some super cool abilities. Again, Dry Skin and Solar Power that we're gonna try and maybe do some weather shenanigans again. Now, I know we tried to do this in Season 2, which was our worst placing that we've gotten, but we gotta come back with a vengeance and retry this manual weather stuff because looking overall at the draft and stuff, we got some good picks, but we're probably gonna have to do some funky stuff to make everything work. But overall, great move pool, and yeah, Helioptile, I'm really happy that we snagged. So second to last for our tier 3s, we have Cufant. Now this cute little elephant is pure steel type, so that's the main reason we got it, as well as having access to sheer force, which is pretty sweet, you know, giving this thing mega boosts to its attack, which is already at a base 80. So this thing, although it has low speed, I'm hoping to maybe operate this guy in a trick room setting and just plow through things, maybe with a life orb or a choice band, and just roll through a lot of walls, as this thing hopefully can break them. And base 72 HP is pretty decent too. So yeah, access to stealth rocks, things like that, as well as, you know, play rough, power whip, decent coverage overall, access to body press, iron defense, yeah, stealth rocks, whirlwind of all things. So overall, Cufant, pretty happy with as well. As you know, good steel types are hard to come by, and thinking this thing maybe with an Eviolite can be fairly tanky. And our last tier 3 is, of course, Gotcha Jr., the Cottony. You can't have a Kalamazoo Raichu team without a cheeky grass type Pokemon. Prankster is probably the only reason we get this guy. I don't even know what else to say about Cottony. Just love this thing. Love this Whimsicott being able to use knockoff, encore, leech seed, substitute, protect, all these status moves with Prankster, along with the possibility of maybe utilizing that chlorophyll ability with 66 base speed. It's not too bad. And with split defenses of 60 and 50 in Little Cup is fairly decent. So wanted to grab Cottony, and pretty happy that we were able to. So, you know, things like Tailwind, Trick Room, it's all being done by Cottony. So overall, our tier 3s, I'm pretty happy with compared to a lot of what other people were able to snag. So some decent special attackers here that were left, as well as some nice utility Pokemon. So, but on to the tier 2s. We got Shelmet. Shelmet is a beast. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea why people slept on this thing. I think Shelmet is super good. Base 85 and 65 defenses. So pretty good, but has access to spikes, toxic spikes, has recover, infestation, toxic, has rain dance. And now you're thinking, why would we want rain dance? Well, has this sweet ability called hydration, which cures its status at the end of turn while rain is up. So I'm thinking we can maybe try some cheeky things with like rest, and you don't even need the sleep talk because you automatically wake up, as well as the fact that this can maybe help our Helioptile and Sobble thrive under the rain, as well as, you know, hydration, mitigate a lot of fire weakness. So a lot of cool weather stuff we're trying for this season, I find. As well as Shell Armor being like a nice alternative ability, which is just protecting ourselves from crits. So thought that Shelmet was a pretty cool pick, and that pure bug typing is really good for defenses, I find. So, but on to the next, we have Drillbur as our second tier 2. Drillbur is awesome. Base 85 attack, which is awesome. You have 60 HP, 68 speed. Overall, I think these stats are like pretty good. Especially having access to Mold Breaker. This thing can set Stealth Rocks, has access to Rapid Spin, and can just hit things with Stab, Earthquakes, Rock Slide. Yeah, it's pretty standard set. I feel we're probably going to run most of the time, but I mean, you can set up with Sword Stance and go to town. So pretty excited to have Drillbur on the team. Needed a good ground type, and it fills a lot of roles and can be hopefully used as like a setup sweeper or a lead. So finally, for our last tier 2, we have Slowpoke Prince Hippo, aka King Hippo Jr. We have base 90 HP, which is massive. 65 defense, a lot of physical attackers in this format, and Regenerator, great ability. So this is gonna be probably our main Trick Room setter and just bulky boy, as it's able to synergize well with the Shelmet, the Q-Fint, as well as spoilers incoming for our tier 1 picks that we can utilize with Trick Room. So hoping that maybe get this guy to use some stab water moves as well underneath Rain, or set up the Rain itself, or set up Trick Room. Honestly, just a pretty good utility wall, bulky pivot. So pretty happy that we got Slowpoke. And now on to the tier 1s. We have Grimer Alola, which is going to synergize with Slowpoke with that low speed. This thing is base 80 attack and HP. It's 50 defenses. I don't know. I think stab knockoff on this, along with like pursuit, other things, is going to be awesome. As well as like a super niche ability with Gluttony that can maybe come into play for some fun berry plays. But other than that, just thought the typing alone was pretty sweet, and wanted to try out Grimer Alola just for some, you know, little change of pace. And finally, last but not least, we have Magby, Swagby coming in, and just a good tier 1 fire type. 83 speed, which is fairly fast in this format, fastest threat on our team, and having split 75 and 70 attacking stats is nuts. You can run a physical set on this thing, has access to Belly Drum, has access to Overheat and Gunk Shot, Psychic. You never know what you're gonna run with this. Physical, special, it's awesome. Super high speed, and you know, fire types are always a very valuable asset to have. So pretty happy with Magby overall, as again, being able to have access to special attackers in this format is kind of a big deal, as pointed out by many coaches. So yeah, this is the team, at least for now. Might look at making a few switches here and there, but to be honest, the free agent pool remaining is a little sparse, as this was a very contested draft with 18 teams being in the mix. Not a lot of good quality picks were left in the pool, and if you're asking the trade coaches for their Pokemon, it better be a good deal. So it's gonna be tough to part certain Pokemon away from certain teams, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with the draft. I'd have to say it's like, out of 10, we'll give it like a 7.5 rating, I'd say. So overall, pretty happy, especially with the tier 3s. I thought we did a decent job, mind you, besides like Chingling. But yeah, so this is the Raichu for your season 6, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So yeah, go Raichu!